What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to talk about UFC 280's main event between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title. But guys, before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. All right, guys, getting right into it. I'm basically want to discuss why I will never fucking bet against Charles Oliveira ever again. Like I'm not saying just for money wise, just saying like I will never pick against him ever again until he proves otherwise. Like what he's been able to do in his 5 year run, he hasn't lost since Paul Felder TKO'd him in 2017. I think it was December 2017. Like, I was living a whole different life when that happened. Like, it's been that fucking long since this dude has taken an L. And he has been able to fight his way all the way to the top and keep his status at the top. In my opinion, he's defending his belt. I think the whole weight miss and the whole scale thing, that totally fucked him over, lost out on all this money. I feel really bad for him in that regard. I'm really feeling for him in that regard. And I'm looking at this as a title defense for Do Bronx. I can't count the guy out no matter what. Even when he gets hurt in the stand-up, the second it goes to the ground or the second he just decides, no, it's not happening today, he goes out and he just bites down on his mouthpiece and gets work done. Finished Michael Chandler, finished Dustin Poirier, finished Justin Gaethje. I think the only guy he hasn't finished during his win streak was Tony Ferguson, which I think should go to Tony Ferguson's credit, by the way. Shout out T-Ferg. Finished Kevin Lee, Jared Gordon, Nick Lentz. I mean, just it goes on and on. Jim Miller, Clay Guida. I mean, what the fuck? And then you got Islam Makhachev, right, who in his own regard hasn't lost in 6 years. He's beat guys like Chris Wade, who's been making waves down in the PFL. Guys like Nick Lentz also. Nick Lentz was a very, underrated guy when it comes to his career with the UFC. So a big shout out on a win against a guy like Nick Lentz, especially 5 years ago. Took out Gleason Tebow. I mean, he's been able to take out all the top prospects and the top veterans that he's been able to go against, but he has not fought against any top 10 fighters. And that has been his biggest thing against his name and his detriment, but his whole team, they all shout out to him. He's the only guy to apparently win a round against Khabib in training, and who knows how much of that is them building up his confidence in that regard. I mean, his only loss was in 2015, so I guess you could say 7. I mean, he legit hasn't lost in 7 years. So, I mean, if I do expect to see Islam getting the W against Charles Oliveira, if that is to happen, he's basically just gonna ride his dick the whole night. He's gonna do what Khabib does. He's gonna wrap the legs. He's gonna get top control. He's gonna mount him, and he's gonna try and ground and pound the fuck out of Charles Oliveira. But this is where I think Charles is just gonna be way too crafty. I think the strength of Islam, I don't think that's gonna be the X factor. I think that would be his one thing, but I don't think that's going to be enough to stop a guy like Charles, especially on the ground. The guy's too wily. Khabib came out and said that, yeah, how are you going to say the guy is the best on the ground when he's tapped out 8 times on the ground? But that was at a time when Charles was just a different fighter. His mentality was different. His size was different. He was fighting at a different weight. He was fighting way below. He was fighting at featherweight a lot of times. That was very difficult for him. So I think the person and the fighter that he has become now is leaps and bounds beyond of what he was before, and he has reached his full potential, what the UFC saw in him when they first signed him. I think 20, 21 years old. That's how long he's been with the UFC, and that's how long his career has been. And to see where he's at now, I don't see him getting stopped. I don't see Islam having the tools to stop him. If he were to stop him, it's going to be in a very fucking boring fashion, and you're going to hear a lot of boos in that octagon, because that's Islam's key to victory. He's going to have to get it to the ground. He's going to have to get ground control, and he's going to have to work ground and pound. Hope for a finish, but I think, like Khabib, he's not going to really look for the finish. He's just going to look to do damage, get control, octagon time, etc. But I just don't think that's going to be enough for a guy like Charles Do Bronx. I think right now the guy is just on another level. His confidence is on another level. And we're just seeing a guy really just come into his own, still in his prime, and I don't think he's going to stop anytime soon. I don't think the Charles Oliveira train is going to stop anytime soon, guys. That being said, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section if you guys think I'm out of my fucking mind or what. I'd love to hear it. So yeah, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly, all right? Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.